This is First GenXers.
All right. Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of The Classroom featuring this week my co-host, one of my boys, the one and only from West Coast Bias, Mr. Dirk Suave. What's up, brother?
What up, man?
Hopefully we'll have O'Malley join us later. Maybe not. Maybe, who knows? Right now it's just us. So we're going to kind of do some review stuff in the NFL category, based on the fact that Suave was not with us last week to be able to talk some of these things. So it's time for football talk in the classroom. All right, bro. So we'll start with the free agency stuff. Let's see. We had well, actually, no, we didn't get a chance to talk to you about the whole Ravens Raiders stuff. You were here for the beginning part of it with Max Crosby getting traded to the Ravens, but you were not here to discuss Max Crosby not being traded to the Raiders. Why don't we start there? You give us your thoughts there.
All right, I'll make this quick. So I think that the Ravens went in and flew Crosby out with the thinking that they might be getting Trey Hendrickson, and if it went through, which it obviously did, that they had no intention of honoring the trade. It was a high price, I would say, but a worthy price for a player of Crosby's ability. They used an out that was legally theirs to use, but I think, let's not mince words. I think it was unethical, just not illegal. So I'm not one of those fans, NFL fans, that feels like they should lose picks for it or something like that. This wouldn't be the first time that they've done something like this. They traded Jair Alexander to the Eagles. GM told the Eagles that he was healthy. He, in fact, was not healthy. And the Eagles still honored the trade because that's just how their franchise is. And Jair Alexander, before even playing a snap, before even having a practice with the Eagles, retired because his knee wasn't healthy. So I think for the biggest signs was the Ravens were going through the motions. When you have a high profile trade like this, typically you roll out the red carpet. You hearken back to, say, Randy Moss getting traded to the Raiders, and they literally gave him a police escort from the private plane to the team facility. You know, that's what you do for high profile free agents, and for them to fly him essentially commercial to DC and be forced to drive instead of flying a private flight. And yeah, make no mistake, Max Crosby is a millionaire. He could have paid for it himself, but when you do something like this, typically the team coughs up the money to charter the flight. So, you know, I think this is actually a boon for the Raiders. They get the guy they didn't really want to lose, but were trying to do right by sending him to a competitive team versus a bottom feeder for picks. So I think the Ravens kind of showed how they operate, and you really kind of think that at some point, particularly this season with everything they've lost, karma will catch up to them.
We'll see. Hey, what's up, O'Malley? Welcome to the show.
What's up?
All right, so now we got the full crew here. We can kind of dive into some more football talk. Tua Tagovailoa finds himself in Atlanta, backing up a QB who has an injury history that's almost as bad as his, just minus the concussions. what do you is Atlanta's QB room going to look like a scene from ER, or are they actually going to be able to field a healthy quarterback this year? O'Malley, kick us off with your thoughts about Tua Tagovailoa landing in Atlanta.
We've kind of already talked about this before, and my opinion doesn't really change just because of where he went. Why? What's the point at this point? And I mean, honestly, that question is kind of why on both sides. You already have a quarterback that has an injury issue. Now you just got a backup quarterback, because I'm assuming that that's what they're going to use him as, with a concussion issue. So who's your third string quarterback? Because that's important at this point.
Well, I think it also looks bad from the angle of you had Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins, although getting injured every now and then, while he was the backup for Penix early on, he stayed relatively healthy and played well when he needed to.
Okay, I'm sick of hearing about Kirk Cousins. Okay, with my husband being a Washington fan, the happiest moment for him was when they finally got rid of him. He never wanted him. You can tell the difference in the fans, and I'm not going to say that part out loud, but we all know the difference between who wanted Cousins versus who wanted RG3. So, not really a fan of Kirk Cousins as it is. So was it? I mean, he's going to be one of those that ends up having a full NFL career by being a mediocre quarterback.
Fair enough. Strong words. Fair enough. Suave, any thoughts on Tagovailoa backing up Penix Jr.?
Well, they needed somebody. I don't know if I would have released Cousins, considering you got to eat that dead money for the next 2 seasons. I think if you're going to eat the money regardless, why not hold on to him? He's definitely shown a competence. He hasn't shown the ability to win in the playoffs, but he definitely is a regular season quarterback. I think he takes a lot of heat for the teams he's been on not being able to perform when it comes to playoff football, but sometimes it just comes down to breaks. He hasn't necessarily played terrible in those moments, but he hasn't necessarily been world beater either. I think them signing Tua was kind of a foregone when they released Cousins. It was going to be him or Murray. So getting Tua, I mean, he's shown the ability to play at a high level, but he's going to need protection. Atlanta's team is on the cusp of being decent, but I don't think they have enough to necessarily protect him. I'm not a fan of their offensive coordinator having Tua, but we'll kind of wait and see what happens. Can Michael Penix actually begin to have some healthy streaks where he doesn't miss games is going to be the biggest question for Atlanta.
Very true. Very true. I'll say this.
Hold on. I mean, I feel like with the first part of Suave talking about Cousins, I couldn't really tell whether you were talking about Kirk Cousins or Dak Prescott. Talking about playoffs.
It's the same. It's the same thing. I mean, Dak is the same. He definitely falls in the same range. I would say Dak is a little bit better in the regular season, but there are some teams that just have troubles when it comes to the playoffs, and Dallas is definitely one of those teams. Maybe they get a one-off title with Dak at some point, maybe not, but he's definitely been a fairly good quarterback throughout his career, just like Cousins. And Cousins built him up from a lot less, even though Dak was also a mid-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. So, but he wasn't necessarily handed the keys. Washington drafted his replacement in RG3, and then he got replaced. So he's kind of been through this. I mean, hell, let's be honest. Kirk Cousins has gone through this every place he's been at. He built himself up in Washington. He looked good, just couldn't get them necessarily over the hump, but the team was garbage around him for the most part.
And so was the ownership. It was a
back when
hot
Snyder
mess.
was still,
Yeah, I don't know how you pay Cousins all this money and then draft his replacement every time. I mean, that's just, it's kind of like every place he's gone to, they're giving him the Rodgers treatment. At least they only did it to Rodgers once. drafting his replacement versus every stop. I mean, RG3, JJ McCarthy, Michael Penix. Hell, Michael Penix is even worse because, Cousins didn't even have a history there, hadn't even done a practice yet, just signed his contract, and they go, oh, let's go ahead and take Michael Penix Jr. So
Yeah,
you
I
kind
feel
of got
you.
to feel
But as
bad for him
far
to an
as
extent, but that's a rough one.
as far as the RG3 thing went, though, there were a lot that didn't want RG3. Like that was Cousins was still who they wanted even after drafting RG3. That was where there was a big disagreement between coaching staff and leadership.
Yeah, because with when you have
It
the first
also
pick,
ended
everybody.
RG3's career. And fucked up Cousins and all of that stuff all at the same time. I feel like everyone involved in that got a raw deal.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Well, minus the coaches that are now other places doing what they're doing,
Yeah. Well, I'll say. All right, and Swab, kick us off with your thoughts on Kyler Murray landing with the Vikings. Like,
I think this one's kind of
is this a good
interesting.
sign for JJ McCarthy or no?
No. I mean, JJ McCarthy hasn't even shown any flashes that he's going to be a decent quarterback at the NFL level. I will say Kyler Murray has shown flashes, even though it's been with the Cardinals, but he's shown more with less. I think he's going to a very good situation. The only issue I see is, will the Vikings do what they did again? They go from Cousins to Darnold, and Darnold plays extraordinarily well, coughs it up in the playoffs. And will Kyler get this team to the playoffs? I think he very well could. They've got enough talent around him. He's on a minimum deal, so even though that won't last if he plays great, but will they re-sign a good quarterback to, will they shut the door on JJ McCarthy and say, hey, we just made a terrible mistake with that pick, a top 10 pick, no less. So there's a move they had to do. They shit the bed with Cousins. They did it again with Darnold. I think Murray will be an upgrade. Will definitely be an upgrade over JJ. So I think it was the right move to make.
We shall see. I kind of feel sorry for JJ in this regard. Like, you have a team that says they're fully behind you, and then they go out and make moves like this. But here's the thing
off
with
of his
me.
play, though. That's not because they want to.
I wouldn't say that. Like, the kid it was his first year in the out there, not his first year in the league, but his first year actually out there. Like, it was going to take a minute for him to catch up to the speed of the NFL. Like, but what I will say is that I feel bad for JJ McCarthy and Michael Penix Jr. And here's why. Michael Penix's job is pretty much safe. Like, I don't think they're planning on Tua starting. I think Tua is the design backup. Kyler Murray is supposed to actually be competing with JJ McCarthy. But you got a guy that a team said, we will eat $100 million in dead money to get your ass off our fucking team. And another team that said, we will eat $40 million in dead money to get you to fuck off of our team. And these guys picked up jobs like that. Like, because to me, as if I was an owner, it would be a glaring sign to me that a team was willing to take $100 million in dead cap money over the next 2 years.
That's when you're calling Joe Flacco at home again.
Yes, exactly. Like I don't understand these desires to bring these guys in and think that anything. I'm sorry, like Tua is best as a backup. You want to know why? Because over the next 3 years, he'll probably play 4 games. Hopefully.
I'm shocked anyone will insure him at this point. Honestly, and that you're right. And I think we talked about this once before. It's that does not feel like sound business decisions. Like, people just fucking are paying basically their entire salary cap to
1/3 of it would, in the case of Tua.
Yeah, that's insane. We hated you that much. We wanted you out of here that much. But here, let's give you a job.
Yep. What was the dead money cap on Jamarcus Russell, Steve?
Oh, that was ages ago. I mean, I know his deal was 7 years, 63, and they cut him after 4 or 3. I think 4 years.
Yeah, and you can thank him for rookie deals too.
Yeah, the rookie salary cap, exactly. The one good thing he did.
Right.
But I think the players who continue to get jobs, even when they've signed high profile deals and get cut or released, have shown a propensity to be able to play well at a high level. For about 2 seasons, Tua looked like he had ascended up to that tier 2 level. Kyler Murray did the same, but the teams kind of floundered. The front offices made changes. They didn't win enough for them, and then they had down years. So I think, and with Tua having the concussions, definitely a setback. But he still wants to continue to play. He's still shown an ability to be able to play. So that's kind of what you put your faith in. And also, they didn't sign either of those guys to big money deals. They're getting them for the vet minimum. Whereas the teams that they're leaving, they cut bait and they're eating that dead cap, which is, yeah, I mean, I'll admit it. That's pretty wild. It gets to a point where the number's like, I'd rather just keep you on the team and let you be a backup. But you got new head coaches at both of those programs that said, no, let's wash our hands clean. The team said, okay, and was willing to eat the money. So, I mean, those are the breaks.
Didn't Penix have a pretty significant college injury history?
A couple.
Yeah. So, like, you're already that coming in, right?
Yeah.
Like, I revert back to one of my first statements. I really hope they're gonna have a good third string quarterback. Because this feels like a Niners season where they went through and ended up with their third string quarterback
with Josh Johnson walking off the bus.
Yep. From the bus stop, throwing the pads on them and riding them to the game.
And look at where you're at now, though. So, I mean, that was a fluke that I feel like that was the best thing to come out of that season for you guys.
Yeah. Well, no, it gave us Brock Purdy. If Trey Lance and Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo don't get hurt, we never get to Brock Purdy. And who says we may make that run, we may not, but I doubt it. I just think that Anyway,
and I hate the Niners. But that kid is fun to watch.
Yeah, true. He flings it. But Swab, quick thoughts, real quick. Was the kind of last thoughts on free agency on Dre Greenlaw coming back to the Niners, $7.5 million one-year deal after being released by the Broncos.
Trying to capture that magic that got him the deal in the first place. He did not have the ability to play with Denver. He was hurt more often than not. So he's got the ability. The question now is, can he stay healthy? And that's a $7.5 million gamble that the Niners were willing to pay. And with that electric substation out there, I think it was a little rich, but, it is what it is. Happy homecoming.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so that'll close us out on Now we're going to get to the one that I'm glad you showed up for this, Miss O'Malley, because this is the conversation I wanted the three of us to have. The man that consistently runs through defenders like they are brick walls is talking as if he hit a brick wall a few times with his head on purpose. Cam Scatterboo had the nerve to say that he doesn't believe CTE is real. And what was the other thing that he didn't believe was real? It was CTE and asthma. He said he doesn't believe asthma is real. They're just excuses. So, O'Malley, I'll let you kick us off with your thoughts on these completely and utterly
Unified School District of him. Sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, Kyrie Irving is a flat earther, folks. I mean, what? Bro, what? You know who else you sound like? These red hat wearing freaking QAnon fucking conspiracy. What the fuck? Where did this even come from? Because I'm not gonna lie, I knew he had said something because all I saw was a headline that had popped up. He's about his comments and then something CTE. So I never actually saw what the comments were. or what context it came up in. But like hearing him say that he doesn't believe in asthma, that just reminds me of so many people that cannot understand that just because you don't experience it doesn't mean the shit doesn't exist. Like, fucking idiots. You sound like a white person saying racism doesn't exist because they've never experienced it. Fucking learn. It sounds like you're suffering from CTE, sir.
That it's that right there. That's the hilarious part for me is that the first comment I saw underneath the little Facebook article thing that I read about it. The first comment was, "Well, looks like the CTE done already got him." I'm like, these are not the droids you're looking for. All right, Swab, what do you think about Scatterboo's comments?
With his playing style, he doesn't want to play scared, so I understand why he would say something like this. It's just like we were talking off air, and it's like guys that race cars and stuff, they live that fine line and they're out there risking their life for money and fame and the chance to win. So I can understand why he would say it. I would have kept it private, or tried to segue away from it so that way I wouldn't have had to admit it. But it's obvious he doesn't want to play with that fear. And while I'm sure he's one of those types where he's like, I've had a bunch of concussions and I'm sure I've had a gajillion micro concussions and I feel fine, without realizing that CTE is really going to start affecting you in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. And there's a gaggle of evidence, scientific research, peer-reviewed research. It's real. I mean, hell, more than that. More than the evidence, there's actual sliced brains of former players showing CTE, including people like Aaron Hernandez, Junior Seau. I mean, literal greats.
Junior Seau offed himself in a way so that his brain could be studied because he was so certain that what he was experiencing had to be tied somehow.
I mean, it gets so bad Mike Webster is really was the one that kind of cracked the case open with his passing, but he was living homelessly in his truck, biting off his fingernails, pulling his own teeth out, and huffing paint. It's like, bro.
Also you add that a lot of these guys also had some kind of other underlying mental health stuff from stuff completely not related to football in general. And then you have those
Barrett Robbins
things,
situation.
and that's where you really get experiences like that, where they're living on the street, they're not functioning, where the behavioral aspects come out that much more because of the areas of the brain that are affected. So it's sad. But it's also when people are like, how can someone get that way? Well, here we are.
Yeah. Here's the thing about
I just hope Scatterboo has a great financial advisor, because when his career is over with the way that he plays,
shut your mouth. Shut your mouth is what his financial advisor says.
Yeah. Well, I just say it like this. Like, it's a dark world, because like they do go and they intentionally put their bodies and minds and everything else on the line week in and week out. But it's the level of nonchalance and disrespect that comes out of some of these younger cats when it comes to stuff like that. Like, bro, like CTE has taken some of the greatest football players that we've had the joy of watching from us. Barry Sanders, and what I mean by that, not only did they pass away or something tragic happened to him, Barry Sanders left because he did not want CTE. He did not want to be hobbled in his later years. And so to say that basically saying that Barry Sanders saying that he wants to retire because he doesn't want to damage his body too much to be able to take care of his kid is an excuse, is disrespectful to.
And that's I commend the ones that have come in, met their dream of coming in, even ones that have left when people were shocked because like they were at the beginning of their prime. but who recognize, and this is the issue I think I have the most with Tua, it is that like this is a small fraction of your life, of the rest of your life. But what you are doing now, needlessly so, is what is that the rest of that life going to look like?
How many
What
more
are you
hits? How many
curious.
more times
remember
do
of
you need
your
to black out?
kids?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I mean, it depends on how you're looking at it. Once you've earned enough money to have generational wealth, you only have this small window. You don't really care about the future. You're so invested in the now and living your dream of being a professional athlete. So I can understand the allure of risk, but at the same time, a lot of people looking outside in, it's like, you have generational wealth. You can literally enjoy it for the rest of your life if you do it right, and your kids' lives if you manage your money right. So the question would really be why?
I mean, that's like continuing to let it roll in craps on when you're fucking up
Up
a
millions.
gajillion dollars
Yeah.
and fucking lose it all. Why? You were up on house money, like,
Yep.
and now
And,
you're gonna owe a bookie. Like,
it's I get the desire to play football. I get that some people have a competitive nature that is almost out of their own control. But I don't get risking your life. I don't get Tech Tinkers, thanks for joining us, bro, over on Twitch. He says if you're up on the craps table, you put it all on black. Duh. Sure, man. No, if I'm up millions, I'm walking away from that table with a smile on my face, and yeah, I'm out.
yeah, no.
What's up, bro? Thanks for joining us. But yeah, no, in real talk, just guys that retired, like I look at like Patrick Willis. Like people are like, oh, he was 7-8 years into his career. Like he's a little long in the tooth for a linebacker anyway. Yeah, but he felt like he could go another 3, 4, 5 years. He felt like he could have a Ray Lewis type run. I think that didn't Ray Lewis play for at least 10 years?
I want to say 12 to 14, so maybe it was pretty long.
So I know he wanted to have that, but he decided to get out the game before the game. Like, damn, championships be damned. I played in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Luke
played on a
Kuechly.
good team. Luke Kuechly, championships be damned. I want to be able to enjoy the money that I've earned while playing this game and enjoy it
I've
with
made
my
some
children.
money. I realized some dreams. Like, I've literally checked off all of those bucket list items. What more am I really trying to go for?
Yep. So I hope that, Mr. Scatterboo, I hope that for your own good you make it out of football before it gets too bad for you. But bro, like, stop hitting people head first, because
The other
evidently it's
thing he
affecting them.
doesn't realize too is the fact of like how much worse I'm fairly certain it is in the older players, because they have at least tried to make some improvements.
They got them out there wearing those big ass outfits.
Some crazy shit, but
And I
like,
praise the guys that do it too. That takes guts,
Yeah.
because they go out there with the big afro looking helmet. You feel me?
yep,
They look like fucking Megamind
Yeah.
from the animated
yeah,
movies. But like the first time I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is that on his head?
that was exactly my question.
And then they were like, oh yeah, that's the new helmet.
Big blow up sumo suits or some shit.
Yeah. Pretty soon, man. Pretty soon, that's what they're gonna be wearing out there. They're just gonna be bumping into each other, trying to run the ball down the field. All right. So last subject is the NFL draft. I thought we would be talking, a couple of weeks ago about how the Raiders have the 1st and the 14th pick, but now it looks like they just have the 1st, and it looks like it's obvious. Yeah, it's obvious that Mendoza is going to be that 1st pick. I don't know. I think this is a good thing. I think Kubiak's a good offensive coordinator. I think he comes from a good family tree of coaches. So I think that I don't see I'm not going to sit here and say the Raiders are going to go from the number one pick to making the playoffs, but I think you'll see a small turnaround to where they'll win 5-6 games this upcoming year, 5-12, 6-11, something like that. But Swab, what's your outlook on this draft now that free agency is kind of settled down?
I'm kind of curious where a couple of guys go, like Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. How far down could possibly Bain drop in the draft? Everybody kind of hitting on the fact that he has T-Rex arms. So I'm real curious with a couple of these players. Taylon Green from Arkansas, the guy that should be quarterback, and a lot of people are projecting him to be forced to move to wide receiver or tight end, which I think is just asininely crazy and old school white guy NFL things. You got a guy with prototypical size, prototypical arm strength, who just broke the combine record for the fastest quarterback ever and the broad jump of the NFL combine. And everybody goes numbers, but we're going to force this guy to change positions, because he didn't necessarily play great for Arkansas, who hasn't been a great team in like 20 years. So, I'm real curious to see how the draft goes. I'm hopeful that the Raiders, they're taking Mendoza. I'm hoping that they can find a way to. I've seen a couple different mock drafts. One where they get the receiver from Indiana, another one where they get one of the offensive linemen from Indiana, and one of the linebackers. So I'm hopeful they kind of pull one of those moves where you bring Mendoza his favorite target and doesn't necessarily have to be a first round guy. I do everybody kind of is dogging the wide receiver room, so I think they've got potential there, besides the fact that you don't want to take touches away from Brock Bowers. And eventually you've got to get Myers involved in the offense. I mean, you drafted him in the first round the year before Brock. So at some point, you really need to
you mean
run.
Jacoby Myers?
No, they got a tight end, the tight end Myers.
Oh, okay.
They drafted him in the first round the year.
Jaguars.
Yeah, they drafted him in the first round the year before, and they literally have not really used him at all. But here Brock comes, and Brock becomes the guy, and he's another first round tight end. But I don't understand. I'm hopeful that Kubiak can harness what the New England Patriots were doing when they had Hernandez and Gronk at the same time, and actually use them at the same time effectively.
The shit.
Yeah.
We don't need a Raider going to jail for the shit that they're.
I mean, they've already
really
had
need
one.
Scarface.
They've already got one for vehicular homicide.
Henry Ruggs III. Wasn't he released?
And when he gets out in August,
no, I don't think he was
might get
released.
parole.
But he's been doing like speaking engagements. That's like one of the things he's doing is programming. I think trying to earn his way out.
He's gonna get paroled, and I got a feeling the Raiders will be his first call, and I got a feeling they'll accept that phone call and give him a chance.
Well, I don't know. What's he been in for? Like 3 years?
Something like that. I want to say he's only 26, 27, so he's still got a 5-year window of being good, and his game is based off of speed, and he's done nothing but train. Literally 3 years of building up his body, so he's awful fresh.
Yeah, we'll see. One hit over the middle, and he's done for his career. Anyway, all right, so that will close us out for the first half of the show. We're going to go take our quick, 3-minute break real quick, and we are going to check out some promos real quick for the other shows on the network, and we will be back to talk about the NBA and then also about March Madness and the World Baseball Classic, won by the U.S. You're watching The Classroom here on First GenXers Presents Twitch and Double KK Double Network YouTube. We'll see y'all after the break. Peace.
We back at it. Yep, we still doing it. Poetic beat. First GenXers. Gia. Let's get it, y'all. Come on. We back in the building. It's been a long time cooking in the soup kitchen. And I'm chilling with the same. Dropping these beats, won't stop, nope, I can't. Let me get up in the lab, turn it up. Game on with the First GenXers. What's up? Let's flip on the switch or the Xbox and get up in my zone. I'm clowning. Let me clear my throat for a minute. Shout out to my folks while I'm in it. It ain't nothing but love, it's babe business. I really don't know what's so who ain't feeling this. And this is only the beginning. Now versus then, this is something for the chillin'. Poetic got the joints like McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the first gen. We're now rocking with Poetic Beats. This is the First GenXers production. Get your PlayStations out. Get your Xbox out. Get your Switch out. Let's get it in, y'all. Holla back.
You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. You got to keep it. You got to keep it lovely. Success comes right after the struggle. I ain't even giving up on whatever I wanted. The tragedies I've seen, I can't even stomach. Most of y'all weak as shit and would've started running. Every time I make it back to the crib, I'm thankful the Most High let me see all of it. Grateful I'm lovely, and I'm being real with this. Please don't judge me. I'ma stay on my shit.
Adams family like dynamic between Pugsley and Wednesday. Like very true.
Yeah.
Well, I always temper this because I think
I did not like the receiving caution tagline.
I've also seen what Chase Center looks like when the Valkyries are fucking playing. So fuck all of you, because Chase Center is packed no matter what's going on.
All right, give me 1 second. We are right. All right, and so we are back now. Damn it. There we go. All right, we are back. Who's talking? Hey, Sasha Lee, 69. Thanks for joining us as well. You got put in Twitch ads. All right, so we're gonna start out talking a little bit about this week in the NBA. All I can say is this right now: it is brutal being a Warriors fan right now. Even though Steph's supposed to be coming back at the end of the week, like that loss to the Hawks, I'm like, really? I'm not saying the Hawks are bad. We couldn't beat the Hawks with the backups. Like we ain't got enough with Kristaps and all that to beat the Hawks. And so what are you guys' thoughts on the recent slide by the Warriors? Is it all injuries or is there some chemistry off with this team? O'Malley, go ahead and kick us off with your thoughts.
I'm so over this season at this point. I'm just roll it up. Let's think about the draft. Let's think about because at this point, I am of the thought that they should just be looking towards next season.
Yeah. Suave,
I mean,
any thoughts? Oh, go ahead.
It feels like even on the chance of a hair of a chance that they could get into the play-in. I mean, I know that they're often a different team in the playoffs, but not as different as that they would need to be from where they're at right now. Like they're just not playing well.
They're not. Not at all. And Swab, your thoughts?
I mean, the youngsters got to learn. Right now, you're missing your number one and second best players, one for the rest of this year and some of next year. And, we've been missing Curry for weeks now, and I think he would make a tremendous difference. It's a learning opportunity. Sure, I'd love to scuttle the season, and Curry's already missed a huge chunk of it, which really kind of changed the dynamic, and they've been kind of floating around the play-in after flirting with an opportunity to really make some noise. NBA season in a nutshell, you never know how it's going to turn out, and you can't. The first ability is availability, and right now with Curry out, I mean, that's really the tail of the tape, but it's good for our youngsters to really get uh, more seasoning, more minutes, so that way when they do have an opportunity to step in, they're able to step up when the team is actually healthy and competitive.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I want to say this, that I like what I'm seeing as far as effort. They've been in a lot of these games. So I like what I'm seeing as far as effort, but as far as the results, like Steph may be back as early as next week. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah,
All
they
right,
only said that 3 weeks ago.
I'll say the Thunder have officially clinched the West #1 spot. They riding an 11-game winning streak. Oklahoma City have officially clinched the #1 seed in the Western Conference. This allows them to manage the workload of stars like SGA as they head into April. Swab, kick us off your thoughts on the Thunder clinching the West.
I called it. I mean, when they won the title last year, they were so young. I figured that knowing how close they came to potentially coughing up that final series, and were able to kind of get over the hump with Hallie, missing the rest of it and most of this season. I figured they'd be out for blood. In the start of the season, they kind of were. They were on an incredible pace. They've tapered off considerably since then, but they still are the best team in the West and definitely have to still be the favorites to win it all.
There you go. O'Malley, any thoughts?
No.
No? None?
None.
All right. So that'll move us on to another subject O'Malley's not going to want to talk about. But the Lakers are on what feels like 7-8 game winning streak. Luka dropped 60 the other night in Miami, shortly after Bam had dropped 83. Swab, is there any credence that this team could legitimately make a push?
Yeah. I mean, they're in the mix right now, and they're not on the outside looking in. They're in the thick of it. So I'm not going to discount them. I don't think that they're second tier contenders. They're not one of my top contenders, but they could definitely make a run, get out of the first, second round. I don't see them being in the Western Conference Finals, depending on matchups. I don't see any way that they're going to be able to beat an OKC. I wouldn't say anyway, 99% chance that they don't beat OKC, wherever they would face them. I mean, yeah, they can make a push. I don't think they're true finals contenders, but who knows?
O'Malley, same question. Any thoughts?
Okay, so here's what I actually kind of hope happens. No lie. I hope the Lakers make it into the playoffs. I hope they make it to the championship game, the series against Boston. And I hope that the fucking Celtics wipe them again. That's what I hope happens.
Wow. Worst case scenario for Lakers fans, but
yeah, right.
Oh man,
that's what I hope happens right now, and then I hope that is the last of LeBron James in LA, because I'm really sick of hearing it. You guys think I hate him? My husband hates him even more than I hate him. So
yeah,
and he's a very sad man without a team right now, because he refuses to support them as long as this fucking nonsense with him continues.
Oh, I can see why. Like I said, the LeBron James experiment has went on a few years too long. But and here's a quick subject, just a random subject to throw out there. There have been multiple places talking about potentially this man getting a statue in front of Crypto.com arena, and I say hell no. But there's a lot of people out there who say yeah, and I don't know why. Like, I genuinely don't understand. Like, don't get me wrong, LeBron is a great player, and I believe I've actually heard Swab say this before. Cleveland, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Miami,
Yeah.
sure, if you really want to. You know, I don't
Pat
know.
Riley will never do it.
No.
What's up?
Pat Riley would never let that go.
So, but the Lakers have definitely hell no. He's been there almost 10 years. He's brought them one championship.
And it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
And he's taking an average of about $40 million a year.
And they put up a midseason tournament banner. Freaking Kobe is.
And did you see? Here's the winner. And not to pile on and dig on LeBron, but have you seen the most field goals in history, the all-time leader in field goals patch that this man requested have made for his jersey? Look, I'm going to explain it like this. Hold on. I'm going to give, pardon me, guys. Look, LeBron fans, if you wonder why sometimes older cats really don't like him, it's shit like this. It's shit. Why? There's no reason. You will be recognized in the record books as the all-time leader in field goals. Why do you need to have a patch on your jersey to signify it? Anyway, sorry, just had to get that out. Like I don't understand. Like, people sit there and go, why don't people like LeBron? It's shit like this. The self-serving, this ain't for nobody but LeBron in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it's about.
That's what, like, that's why. And yeah, because I don't see anyone else doing it to this degree.
I don't remember John Stockton asking for a patch when he passed, when he took over the number one spot in assists. Maybe if he hadn't asked for it, maybe if the league is like, we want you to wear this. Okay, cool. It is what it is. But this nigga asked for it and got it. Yeah.
The audacity.
I would say the caucasity, but it doesn't apply to LeBron. like it just doesn't.
Honestly, it's really kind of par for the course when you think about it, because once he stopped having dreams of, not 7, not 8, all that nonsense, he started going for stats, and really he's basing his entire legacy off of those stats. So him getting a patch to show that off.
If you play for 437 years, of course you're gonna beat all the fucking records. It's not because you're the best, it's because you played for the longest.
Yeah.
Anyway. So we'll move on from there to LeBron's old team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, who, after acquiring James Harden at the trade deadline, have climbed up to number 4. Cleveland seems in the East. Cleveland seems to have a pretty good squad. Now, this was a squad that was number 1 last year, so technically this is falling off. But compared to where it looked like they were headed before the trade deadline, I think this is pretty good. O'Malley, any thoughts?
Oh, I mean, that could be another really good thing to see too, is that the Lakers make it and they make it against Cleveland, and Cleveland comes in and beats him. That's almost better than Boston. Because the Boston thing really is kind of a whole payback to Jeannie Buss and all of them, because fuck you. But this would be better as a fuck you to LeBron, is getting beat by the team without him when and
one of his best friends is on the team, Mr. Hart.
That would be awesome. awesome.
Swab, your thoughts? Oh,
I mean, I like Cleveland. They got a lot of youth. They did make the trade for Harden, and in his senior career, later years in his career, he's turned into a very good facilitator, which is you really got to tip your hat to how he's modified his game to play, in Brooklyn and LA. And even though they didn't win anything, he changed his game for the team, which is a rarity for a player of his stature and where he came from. I think he can be very good. He's definitely a microwave player. He can go out there and get you 20, 25 points real quick and then, turn it around and get you a 10-point game. But if he's out there dishing the ball and kind of running the team, helping everybody out and get easy buckets, they could be dangerous. And they're playing well right now. You got to give them credit.
all right. And then final subject of the NBA talk for this evening is it says injury and player news, but there's one player and injury we're going to be talking about in particular, and that's Cade Cunningham, who the Pistons have been doing pretty decent winning without him. But because of this long-term injury, Cunningham is most likely going to miss out on awards like the MVP award, so on and so forth, because he won't hit the 65 game threshold that he needs in order to qualify for those awards. The question I ask of you guys is, should they lower the amount of games that you have to play to 50, 55, as opposed to 65, which is what a lot of players are screaming right now. So, Swab, kick us off first with your thoughts, and O'Malley can follow him up.
I'll sum this up pretty succinctly, I think. Hell the fuck no. I mean, you're already missing 20% of the season, which is kind of the threshold, 65 to 82. So for them to sit there and cry that it's not enough, nah. I mean, the first ability is availability. Second time I've had to say it on the show. So if somebody happens to unfortunately get hurt, which is what happened to Kate with a collapsed lung, which is a crazy injury to happen in the NBA, I mean, then it's tough luck. And yeah, it sucks that they tied, and smart for the NBA, that they tied the Supermax money into all NBA teams and things like that. But those are the breaks. If you can't stay healthy, then you miss out. So I mean, someone else that's under you, that's just as deserving in the talk, is going to get a chance to win a trophy. And maybe you were the front runner, but now that you're going to miss these games, you're not the front runner anymore. So I like it. Honestly, they should have one for the first half of the season leading up to the damn All-Star break, to be perfectly honest. So that way we don't get these All-Stars that have missed 20 something games in the beginning of the season still being All-Stars. So I think it's just you and me, O'Malley. Let's rock
it. I mean, I agree. What next? Like, where do you draw the line? Like, it's stupid. Like,
it is.
Just fucking play.
Just fucking be out there. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that basketball is not hard on the body. Football is not hard on the body. But I said it this week. Tom Brady made some ridiculous comments about the WWE. I think just trying to get attention or whatever, but whatever. But there's an argument going on in the comment section below Tom Brady's comments about whether or not football players could beat the shit out of wrestlers or vice versa. And I listed off a bunch of shit about wrestlers, but the first thing I said, one of the jokes that I threw out there when replying to a comment was, football players literally stub their toe and they're out for like half the game, or if not the whole game. Versus a professional wrestler, which wrestling may be scripted, but trust me, them hits and landing hard on your back, that shit hurts. And they get up and do it over and over and over again. So I don't know. What's up?
Also, hello. A lot of the professional wrestlers played football at some point. Yep. So, I mean, whatever. Yeah. That's always going to be an argument.
Yeah. This is why it's just a mentality that is funny to me, is still around, even though we all know wrestling is scripted, the fact that a lot of people still don't look at wrestlers as legit athletes is beyond me. Like with what they do in the ring, you can't not respect that they are legit athletes.
Yeah.
Like I said, second only to soccer players, they're some of the best conditioned athletes in the world. So, all right. So that's it for NBA. Now we're going to go to, let's see. Other sports talk in the classroom. And we're going to start with March Madness. It's back again. Woo! We got college basketball kicking off, and it's actually been some pretty good games, even though a lot of the higher seeds have been advancing. Duke and Michigan, both number one seeds that people believe may be on a collision course to meet either the Final Four or the championship game. A matchup that happened earlier this year, and Duke actually ended up winning it. Big Ten punched 4 tickets to the Sweet 16 with Michigan, Michigan State, Illinois, and Nebraska, all making it to the Sweet 16. And then number 11, Texas, stunned the field by advancing to the Sweet 16. So keep an eye on them. And here's the one that I wanted to throw at you guys. You can give me your overall thoughts on everything, but history was made as Florida's 7'9" center, Oliver Rio, made headlines as the tallest player to ever appear in a tournament during the Gators opening round game. This man is 4 inches taller than Wemby. I hope he makes it to the NBA. I hope he's good enough to make it to the NBA, because I would love to see the matchup with him and Wemby. Because Wemby,
I don't think it would be a good matchup because the kid's extremely raw. He's not near as talented as Wemby is.
Wemby ain't never ran against somebody his own size.
I mean, right now you're talking about a guy who's getting like 5 minutes a game, if that. You know, he's really kind of in the garbage time. Maybe we'll see more in another year or two, and he'll make a name for himself. But he's got a lot of he's got potential, but they got to actually start using him.
He's got the first part down. He's tall.
Yeah, the part you can't teach. True that.
O'Malley, any thoughts about how this tournament has gone so far before they move on to the Sweet 16 next week?
I mean, there were some shocks, some surprises, but I feel like every year there is. So, yeah. I mean, it's March Madness.
I will say this. I had one major surprise.
Okay.
I did not know that there was a school called California Baptist. But now I do, because they made it into the NCAA tournament.
That was that. Yes, that I remember that. I think that was one of the big shocks to me.
Yeah, I was like, who? California, what? Okay, go on with your bad selves. But yeah. I actually went to UC Davis. Didn't realize
it wasn't like California Baptist, like Miami of Ohio, right? Yeah. Like it wasn't.
They went like 30-1. Yeah.
No. But I mean, it's not like California Baptist, but it's somewhere in like Alabama or Louisiana, like Miami of Ohio, shit like that, right? Like it actually is.
California Baptist. I didn't look up their website, but I know that they exist now.
Yeah, that was some crazy shit.
All right. So that takes care of the March Madness talk. The second part is about the World Baseball Classic, which was won by America. Is this our
Venezuela?
first? Well, did Venezuela win it?
Yeah.
I thought Venezuela won it.
Venezuela won it.
That's why when you said it, I was like, "Oh, this must be a great tie-in," because you're going to be like, "Yeah, USA actually lost."
Oh, they actually lost, huh?
Well, I mean, I do think that it's a little ironic if you think about it. Like, we went and kidnapped their president, and now they just beat us in baseball. Go Venezuela, honestly. I'm here for it.
Here's a question I ask. Have the U.S. won a World Baseball Classic at all?
I would assume that they've won at least one, but it's not a guarantee. The world has some great, I mean, even MLB, is really a melting pot for the world. So you got Japanese, Venezuela, Cuban, Korean. So there's a lot of good players around the world. So it's interesting. I think they've done it maybe once.
All right. It says, yes, the United States has won one World Baseball Classic title. Team USA won their sole championship in 2017, defeating Puerto Rico 8-0 in the finals.
Wait, but I mean, then we kind of still won.
Yeah.
Because remember, all of you dumbasses, Puerto Rico is still part of the United States.
Either way, the U.S. was going to win that one, right?
Yeah.
Fucking.
It says that their title history is they won the 2017 championship. They were runner-up in 2023 and runner-up this year. So
Bad Bunny's more American than the First Lady. Just remember that.
dang, true, but dang. And baseball's looking like it's going to have an interesting season. I'm thinking we're going to see some surprise teams. I don't see the A's winning anything as far as like going to the playoffs, but I do see them being entertaining for the season. I like that kid Nick Cruz.
They do either, because my work keeps getting tickets donated to us, and that's usually a bad sign.
Dang. Well, that's because ain't nobody trying to pay $219 to go to a baseball game.
Donated to us at this point too.
So. Yeah, the Kings, man. Woo, we can't even go too much into what's going on over there in Sacramento. How the hell you put together that much talent? But then again, though, Zach LaVine's out. You don't leave me alone, cat. Zach LaVine is out for the season. I believe DeMar DeRozan is out for the season too. So it's basically just Russell Westbrook and a bunch of young guys. Leave me alone. And so, like, I don't expect them to be too competitive, but my God, I did not expect what's coming out. Sacramento may end up with like a top 3 pick this year. They're doing that bad. But anyway, any thoughts on the upcoming baseball season here, Swab?
I don't have many high hopes. I mean,
go Dodgers.
yeah, I would like to see them go back and get another one. Continue to dominate the league and make everybody cry about it. That's probably where I'm at right now. Yeah, that sums it up.
All right, O'Malley.
Okay, so we know my husband is a huge Dodgers fan. My best friend is a huge Giants fan. And this, as we start getting ready to go into this season, he told me to tell her the same thing he told her last season, which was, I'm going to need your team to do better this season, because it's no fun for me for my team winning when your team is playing like shit.
Correct.
He said, I much prefer when your team is doing well and we still come in and, crush your hopes. So yes, that's as we're getting ready to go into the start of the season.
This is going to be a fun season for you, huh? It'll be a real fun season.
Yes.
All right.
So it's funny because there was a point, because he gets very pessimistic when his team isn't behaving properly. I think I believed more last year that they were going to win that World Series than he did.
He did, dang. All right. So I'll let you kick us off, Swab. Final thoughts for the show. Let us have it.
I mean, I just saw an article that Mark Davis is already contemplating pulling the Raiders out of Las Vegas if they go through with some billionaire tax that they're talking about, which is comical. And you got people in the comment sections already talking about, more teams are going to move to red states. And I kind of feel bad for the red state taxpayer that's footing the bill for all these billionaires. I thought we were well past, footing the bill for billionaires and millionaires. So him already complaining that they, might raise his taxes is comical. you know, and you're talking about leaving Vegas already. You're just a few years in, and you still owe $1 billion or $750 million on this stadium. I mean, unless he paid that Bank of America off for that loan, that's big talk. I would love to see him leave Allegiant Stadium and go somewhere else because he's mad that he has to pay more in taxes. But you know, I don't know. I just, billionaires, fuck them.
Yeah. Right on, right on. All right. Miss O'Malley, your final thoughts.
Bro, he's not even a billionaire. He's a millionaire. So I don't know what he cares about no billionaire tax for. And I mean, I'm just piggybacking off of Suave at this point because, like, yeah. I agree and wholeheartedly. It's ridiculous. It's what I've said the whole time. This is why you do not foot the bill for these dumb fucks who are football rich or sports team rich, because then you're dealing with this. He doesn't give a shit about the city, the town. What about all you motherfuckers that were out there talking about it was Oakland's fault that he left and all of this? Clearly, he only wants to stay wherever is most beneficial for him. Fuck the fans, fuck the team, fuck anybody else. It's not about any of them. It's about him and what he wants and what's best for him.
Yep.
Spoiled little fucking brat.
For sure. All right. And as for me, I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to make a deal with any and every LeBron fan that's ever touched this screen. Point blank and simple, y'all. Give us 365 consecutive days where you do not talk, praise, or talk about LeBron. 365 days. And I will promise you, there will be a small shift in the way you even see the world and how LeBron is treated. Because y'all don't shut the about him day in and day out. Yes, there are people out there that just hate on him for the sake of hating on him. Why? Because it just makes them feel happy, because it's a counterbalance to having to listen to you praise his ass all day. So if you want to get rid of the people that are truly just the haters, just give us 365 days. 365. That's it. 1 year from now, you can start back up and you can turn it all back negative again. But just prove my point. 365 days. Zip your lip about LeBron. Talk about KD. Talk about Kyrie. Talk about everybody else but LeBron. Watch how things change. All right.
But they can't do it.
Oh, they won't do it. It's not even that they can't. They won't. They won't. They have to. They have to. And I've said it before and I will say it again. It will always blow my mind that nobody ever pays attention to how LeBron from day one in the league has tried to control the narrative around him and his career via the media and via social media. And he's done a pretty successful job of it. But the fact that he feels the need to control the narrative that much bothers me and always will. All right, so that's it for us. Y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed. Saints should be up next with an NBT Deuce or NBT Fusion. We will be back next week. Me and O'Malley. Suave takes his week off. And we'll be back to talk more NFL, NBA, and whatever else is going on in sports. This has been The Classroom right here on the First GenXers Broadcast Network on Twitch or the WKK Double Network on YouTube. We're out, y'all. Give it to us, O'Malley.
Fuck LeBron.
Suave.
Hey, Spurs ain't deserve Wemby.
There you go. There you go. And Steph Curry is the greatest shooter of all time. Deal with it. Peace.